What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning PHP object oriented programming. My name is QTS Danny and you guys watching my channel Wood. Alright, so in this video we're going to see what is magic methods. If you guys haven't heard of these magic methods, there are some methods inside the PHP that works like magic, and that's what we call it, magic methods. Alright, so I'm gonna put the first video that we created in our class. And if you guys look in here, we have a class here, and if you look in here, we are creating the object of say we have an object and we are assigning this class. Say for example we are using the new keyword. So as we said that in order for us to create an object, we need to instantiate and our class. So if you look in here, the objects are instance of the class. As we said that time and time again, you guys heard this phrase that objects are instances of the classes many times in the past. Alright, so how this what happens behind the scene, how the objects are created. And if you guys don't know how the objects are created, there is something called there is a 2_ is something called constructor. Say for example, if I'm going to come here inside the class and I'm going to create public, I'm going to put a function, I'm going to put a 2_, I'm going to put a construct. Alright, so now if you see here that as we said, this is a constructor. When you come here and put your classes here, when you declare your class, any name, and when you come here and create your object, we are as we said that the objects are instances of the class, and once you instantiate this one with the new and you put your class name, it means you guys are instantiating your class and you guys calling the public this method called constructor, which is a magic methods. And if you look in here, the magic methods are comes with 2_. So why they put a 2_? So we as a programmers don't say for example do that by mistake. There's no way you guys gonna put a 2 here, because you guys need to press shift and underscore. There's no way any programmer can do that by mistake. So that's what they have a 2_ here. If they put a 1_, by all means you guys, we might do some mistake, but there's no way we can do 2. When you go to 2, there's no way we can do 2. That's what the magic method starts with 2_ here. So as I said here, if you create your objects, we do not, you guys by default the PHP is gonna create this one at the runtime. You guys do not need to do anything, and the PHP does everything behind the scenes. So as in our case with all our classes, we use this instantiation. We instantiate our classes, we create an object, we access our properties, we access our methods. We never seen this one before. So now it's a time for us to come and familiarize ourselves with magic methods inside the PHP. Alright, so as I said before, the constructor is a magical technique which gets invoked during the creation of the objects or a class instance. So the constructor of this Coraio object, as you guys gonna see here, as we said that this invokes automatically, the constructor of this Coraio object is a reference to the above class, which is the Coraio social. So the constructor is not implemented in this situation, since there is nothing enclosed in the parentheses. We don't initialize any of these Coraio object properties when we call the constructor. The PHP engine will presume we are using unimplemented constructor if the class doesn't have a constructor function. Alright, so we're gonna come back to the magic methods, and as we said that as now you guys know that how the PHP calls the constructor automatically, even if you don't need to declare the constructor, and the PHP calls it itself. And the constructor is just one example of these magic methods. So in PHP, we dynamically create a property or method that is first is not been declared, and secondly is not visible. We use magic methods to process dynamic entities. They are predefined, and we cannot create or remove them. It means you cannot create by yourself the construct. Say for example, as we've seen there before, public, we've seen the function, and we've seen the construct. You cannot make this yourself. You cannot, there's no way you can, it's already predefined in a PHP. We cannot create and we cannot remove them. And keep in mind, you cannot use this word anywhere else inside the PHP program. As long as you guys, as long as you doing your PHP programming, you cannot use the word construct anywhere inside the program. And magic methods are called automatically. And magic methods are specialized methods in a class. And magic method executing in response to a PHP event. And magic method override the default actions when object performs that actions. It means this one has the power to override anything, that default actions when the object perform that action. So when we create these objects, and whichever way you want this one to behave or act, this one's going to override everything, the default actions when your objects are performing that action. And the only harmful side of this magic methods that can accidentally expose hidden parts of your program. So keep in mind that there is a lot of good things about this magic method. That's what they call magic. But the bad side is you can expose hidden parts of your program, and we're going to see that in future videos how. And as we said, that magic methods are special methods which override PHP's default actions when certain actions are performed on an object. And we said that all methods names, whatever with the underscore, are reserved PHP words. As just a word of caution, you cannot use that words. There are nearly a dozen of these words. And for example, we're going to come here and we're going to see the first one is going to be construct. The second one is going to be destruct, which we're going to see shortly in our next program. So the construct and destructs are magic methods. The first one is the construct, and when you're going to see this one, for example, we create our class, and our class, the PHP creates this constructor, automatically calls this one. And once we create an object, it means that with the help of constructor, it initializes the object. Otherwise, without the constructor, you cannot create your object. So the constructor is there to initialize our objects, to make it our objects, so we can access our properties and methods. So that's what the constructor very useful. And keep in mind, when you're say for example, we need to destruct some time again, every from time to time. Say for example, when the user logs out, we need to destroy everything, whatever the sessions our program remembers about the user session. You need to destroy it. So once you put a destroy, it means it's going to destruct. It's going to destroy all the session. And keep in mind, in the past we have seen the unset, and the unset is another one. Say for example, this is another definition for the constructor. So there is a construct and destruct, and the next one is going to be, say for example, call. And the call is also magic methods. And keep in mind, all of the PHP constructors, say for example, with the exception of this construct and destruct, and we've seen in the past clone, they all have to be, for example, you need to call it with the public. There is no exception except these three. Say for example, you have a construct, you have a destruct and clone. You can do whatever you guys want to do with the protected whatever, but with the rest, you have to use always with the must be declared as a public. Otherwise, the PHP is going to generate the warning. And keep in mind, there is a few functions that PHP is not going to generate any error message in PHP 8, but it's going to be behind the scene. But your program is going to get buggy. For example, there is some magic methods like a sleep, which I'm going to explain shortly, and there is wake up, and this one is going to be serialized, and another one is going to be unserialized, and the next one is going to be set state. So this one is going to be the sleep. is a typo here. So before PHP 8 came in, there was no diagnostic for this one. There was no error was created for this one. But after the PHP 8, you can see the warning for these magic methods. Here we gonna look at these ones because these ones are very difficult for us to explain, because you guys don't have the concept of the construct and destruct and clone. So once we know the clone, and we can come and look at these magic methods of the sleep, wake up, serialize, unserialize, and set state. But for now, if you're gonna come in the next video, we're gonna go start with the constructor, and we're gonna send this to destructor. We have seen already the clone, but we're gonna see this one again. And for example, then the next one's gonna be set, which is we already explained to you all. We can use a public set is run when writing data to inaccessible, protected or private and non-existent properties. And the next one we're gonna see that there's gonna be the get. So get is utilized for reading data for inaccessible or non-existent properties, and we've seen already that is set. We have seen this one as well, and we can see by calling is set our empty, our inaccessible, our non-existent properties. So this is set is called in as you all remember when we say, for example, in the past, in when we learn if, for example, is set, our what is set, and we've seen that our post, for example, that was our post, and whatever the name was, the post one, we looking for this one. This is set is trigger when you call this is set. Our empty, our inaccessible, for example, protected, our private, our non-existent properties. And the last one which we're going to see is unset, and we're going to see unset, and unset is invoked when we call the unset methods. For example, we have seen in the past that as we said here, like a destructor, when you is invoked when you call this one. Say for example, all of them's going to be, say for example, we have seen clone, and in the previous videos, say for example, here we have seen the clone here. We have already seen clone, how we how we wanted to show the US president. The first one was Donald Trump, and the second one was Joe Biden. So with the clone, we could see the both president in our list. So this is the clone is exactly like this clone. So when this one triggered when this clone is triggered. So because it clones the object, as we have seen here in our program in the previous videos. So this magic method comes in very handy. So in the next video, we're gonna see mainly the constructor and destruct, or constructors and destructors, and we have seen all this before, and we're gonna see this ones. We're gonna see the magic methods of the sleep, of the wake up, of serialize, unserialize, and set state. So there are like about 12 or dozen of these magic methods in PHP, which, as I said here, is very useful. They are dynamically create property. Our method that has not been declared or is not visible. So we can start with 2 underscores, and keep in mind they're gonna override the default actions when the objects perform their actions. Now I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I'm gonna say here that every time we have created in the past our classes, and here we have created our objects here, because objects is instances of the classes with the new keyword, and we have new in the class name. This we have called this constructor, because by default PHP calls constructor behind the scene. You guys don't see it, but it calls that. Constructors are very useful if you want to have like, for example, a very powerful enterprise strength application, say for example a very high and powerful applications like a Facebook, like Twitter. You guys needs to have this constructor, and you guys needs to know about the constructor, how we're going to put the parameters inside, and how we call that inside the parameter. So that's magic methods in PHP, and as I said to you, and all of this, if you look in here, observe on all of them, because we have forgot one. It's called toString. So this also a magic method. So you can see all we have seen mostly of these ones in the previous videos, and we're going to see on the construct, and we're going to see the destruct, our constructor or destructor in other programming languages in the next videos. But we have seen mostly all of these. Say for example, we have seen a clone, set, get, isset, and unset, and in the future videos we're going to see these ones, because this one's a bit hard to explain, and we're going to see in our program we're going to use sleep, wake up, serialize, unserialize, and set state. Alright guys, that's it for this video of the magic methods. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe my channel. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, which is going to be the constructor, and bye.